Hello, good morning or good afternoon. I hope you're having a great day. My name is Fanny Menardi and I wanted to record a new video for you for the United Nations in regard of the Public Information Officer that I would love to get and work with you on a wider platform than what I've been doing so far. I have my own business, Pachamam Art. And even though I don't have a direct experience on proper TV, I do have a lot of experience in recording videos, live videos on my channel on YouTube or Facebook or Instagram on a wide variety of topics through art mostly, because I believe that symbols and visuals are really printed, to the mind. And by explaining those symbols and integrating values and topics, people will remember it more easily because they have an image, and every time they see that image, it reminds them, of the reflection or the process. So I found this very interesting, as I used to be a teacher, and converted all that through the art. It's an easy way to enter conversations. So I love that. For my technical experience, I have about a dozen of masterminds available for free on my website, all videos and also with PDF documents sometimes. And I also recorded a movie in February when I participated to the Yosoi event in Egypt. I actually recorded all the conferences, interviewed the participants, talked about my own experience. I filmed the venues, the visuals, everything was so beautiful, and I created this for myself as a memory, but also to share with my audience. I shared this with the foundation, of course, if they wanted to reuse that. And so for the technical skills, I've been learning all on my own and with my own equipment and camera, to be the director, the speaker, the interviewer, the cameraman, everything at once. So I love all the aspects of this job. And even though I studied, I'm kind of very interested and specialist in human rights and indigenous people. This is the other job I applied to for the United Nations. But over the years during the pandemic, I had to turn my business online and I started recording videos, and I found it very interesting, and I actually like to be able to reach a lot of people with my message like that. And that is something they can also do while they're doing creative activities, because if you're reading, you have to focus on what you're reading, but when you're listening or watching something, what I do, most of the time I'm painting when I'm watching videos. So this is why I started doing that, so people could paint and also listen to me talking, or I do it with other professionals as well. So that was the first part. Yes. Okay. So another question, this is about public speaking, but another question also is, who are you when no one is watching? Because sometimes you will see on my videos that I have online, sometimes I yell at my child in front of the camera, and I'm not proud of it, but I don't edit it because I want people to see the authenticity, the real human person, Don't you feel better sometimes? I don't know, maybe you yell at your child and you call your best friend and she's telling you, oh my God, I just yelled at my child, I lost it because I repeat to him this thing 50 times and he doesn't listen, I don't know what to do. And then, of course, I'm compassionate with her, but it kind of makes me feel better because I'm like, okay, I'm not the only one. I don't need to go see a therapist. I don't need to take pills. It's life, okay? I'm just a mom trying to be the best version of myself for me and my son, and with high expectations. So bringing this authenticity online on every kind of topic is what we need, because people want to, of course, we have to promote the goals, and co-create, and the journey and the potential. But when you're here and you see all the journey, it can be really destabilizing, and this gap is where depression and anxiety comes. And this is why people see the beauties online, or they see others, families, and then they get depressed because they don't have that. So I feel it's truly important to bring both the positive and the negative online in a truthful way, but also adjusting to people's frequency to lead to where we want to go and transmute the emotions, okay, from fear to hope. So this is an important step. Yes, so when no one is watching, you know, the truth, but when no one is watching, who are you as a person matters as well. When no one is watching, I went to undercover to visit a farm and planked there for 3 days without telling anybody, because I saw some stuff online that were suspicious to me, and I felt like there could be a chance that it would be human trafficking or children trafficking there. And even though I informed the police, I just couldn't sleep at night. And I went there and I planked for 3 days to make sure they didn't bring trucks with little kids at night and stuff like that. Or when no one was watching, I also gave my money to charity. And this is when I got broke, you know, and I also shared solutions of my financial struggles, how I overcame all that, and all along the journey. Okay, so this is what I believe people need. And there's other aspects of the truth also, because when things got serious, I started talking about human rights and religions and politics, and I got threatened, I got bullied. My Instagram page got deleted, got censored completely. I could never recover it. So luckily, I could recover everything that I had shared. You know, in my Instagram, I had millions of followers. No, didn't have millions of followers, but I have millions of dollars worth of content. I have all my time, all my passion, my energy there that disappeared. So I could recover it. And I put everything in my encyclopedia, the Pachamama encyclopedia, that introduces everything, the art or some brands that I like. Some books, also some paintings, the symbols, with trainings, with masterminds. All of that is something that we could benefit a lot with the United Nations. You see, I created a cover here with my logo and the United Nations, because we could take all these trainings and work with different organizations, the Navy, women protection, because through art you're doing something joyful, but you can also bring all those topics on the table more easily. Okay, so thanks to that, actually, I contributed to 2 cases of terrorism, of solving 2 cases of terrorism with the FBI. And it helped me to understand also why there are cover-ups, why we, the government sometimes, and the media need strategies to bring the truth to the people. Because there's 5 stages of acceptation, you know, and where is the line? Where is the line between telling the truth that the people and the victims deserve and maintaining, ensuring national security and safety and diplomatic relationships? You know, all this is a balance that is very difficult to find. And one big chapter of my book is the 5 stages of acceptation, because not everybody is on the same step, you know, on the ladder. And maybe sometime who is very knowledgeable of engineering and developed on that way, maybe he has a lot to learn on family relationships. Or maybe someone who is very, I don't know, very successful or whatever, on the religious side, they're very close-minded. And so we're not all equal on all levels. Okay, sometimes you're here, there, but you're there, and I can teach you on another level, and you can teach me on another topic as well. But the stages, I'm going to go quickly. That's not the topic today, but pretty much there is being ignored, completely ignored. You don't feel concerned by it. It doesn't trigger you. You're completely in your own truth, and you're not paying attention. The second one is mocking, ridiculing. Okay, there's a lot of people who tell the truth, and they're being mocked or ridiculed. Because it triggers something in the people, or someone wants to hide the truth, and so they ridicule you. Okay, the third stage is questioning. This is when it starts being interesting, because when people start to question you, it's not mean, it's actually a breach. It's a part of them who actually wants to know and is asking a question because a part of them is ready to welcome the truth. So there is progress already. And the next stage is acceptation. Okay, when it becomes normalcy. You've seen this message everywhere, and it becomes more and more normal. This is why it's so important with this book, my encyclopedia, and to build this rainbow bridge and harmonize our message with all the actors and leaders and actors of change all around the world. And then the last stage is the promotion. Once you have discovered something that changes your life and you're so enthusiastic about it, you want everybody to know, then you start promoting it. And then it's just a matter of time. Okay? So, yes. Another thing I wanted to mention is something, you know, a lot of people say that the media, they're tired of the media. Just turn off the TV. We don't want to watch the news, you know, and this is dramatic because one of the main strategies that I see everywhere was trained not to manipulate the people, but to identify where there is manipulation, when there is mental programming and all of this stuff. And the main strategy that is used in the media that I see everywhere is called cognitive dissonance. It's horrible. It's the fact to give a news and give an opposite news and destabilize the public so the brain freezes and the people in panic need to hold on to something. They need a reference point, and this is when it's the best time to serve them whatever truth you want. And most of the time it's a commercial for anxiety medicine or something that you don't need at all, but to build into the advertising commercial things, you know. And this is exactly what we need to change, to turn this cognitive dissonance into reassurance. I don't want to manipulate people for them to understand my truth. Okay, yes, sometimes we need to make little waves and shake the people a little bit. So I use it in positive ways, like I'm gonna do something funny, or I'm gonna do something that's gonna surprise them to catch the attention, and then this is when you bring the message because they're more receptive. Okay, but I don't want to manipulate the people. People need to be reassured. They need to be reassured that, okay, this person is truthful, she's not perfect, but she's authentic, and we can come, maybe she makes mistake, but because she's trying to fight for us, she's trying to bring, you know, to find out the truth or whatever, share the progress as well at the same time. And this is very important to me, to convert the emotions and turn the fear into hope, for example. All right, so now my little presentation that I prepared, or not really prepared, I don't know, would be how would I introduce the news for an alien invasion? Okay, are you ready? I'm ready. Okay. Are aliens communicating with us, and what are they trying to say? I know this is probably a topic you were not expecting. I could talk about culture, I could talk about politics, but literally this is where the world is heading. With the space race happening right now, the NASA, the Space Force, SpaceX, Virgin Galactic, all these great organizations are on a race to space. They're building rockets, they're building satellites, they're building space stations all over the place. Scientists are finding out that wormholes or black holes in space could actually be space portals, right? Time portals to travel from a point of the universe to another point of the universe. That would explain why the Navy is now releasing information about UFOs, the presence of UFOs on Earth and certain spaceships, spacecraft and stuff like that, that we are still trying to model the technology. So you see, with the internet, we're able to bring all these pieces together. But why am I talking about this? Because the environment, okay? We created this little formula with my son in June last summer. It's an anti-gravity formula where I recoup all the knowledge from scientists and my own intuitions. I had many dreams as well about this formula with Chinese symbols, talking about natural energy converting into temperature in a circuit using crystals and sound vibrations, all of that, to generate an anti-gravity formula that would completely help us to stop using oil. It's important for the environment because oil, we use it for cars, we use it for rockets, airplanes, everything, and it is the blood of the earth. Okay, so if you keep if you're using all the blood in your body, what is going to happen? You start defibrillating. And it's the same for the earth. If we keep using all the oil from the earth, we're going to start seeing earthquakes and volcanoes erupting, all this stuff. Of course, they're natural catastrophes, but they're also related. Everything is connected. Okay? So we're becoming a more, you will see how everything ties up, because we're becoming more and more of a spiritual communities. For the longest times, we used to be focused on survival, okay, on physical matters. Oh, we used to live till 50, 60, you know, now we live till 90, 100, because the medicine is able to cure bigger diseases or ease, you know, health challenges and stuff like that. So this is not the main, unless you have a huge health problem that is, you know, a huge part of your life every day. Most of the people who are healthy, this is not the biggest challenge of their life. People nowadays, they deal with depression, they deal with anxiety, but they also have dreams they want to fulfill. They have intuition, inspiration. They have more and more synchronicities happening in their life, telepathy, intuition. They're wondering what's going on. Has it ever happened to you that you're thinking of someone and they call you right at that time? Or you need a desk and all of a sudden you drive by the street and there is a desk on the side of the street because you were connected to your intuition, okay? And the universe is responding like a matrix, right? Where all the pieces are put together. So, for example, why do we keep discovering doors and rooms in the pyramids? Because the frequency of the earth is rising, and so is our frequency. Okay, so you cannot see something if your frequency is not aligned with it. If you're leaving the house in the morning and you're late, going to work, and you forgot something like a makeup or whatever, and you're looking all around the house, you're in this panicked energy, and you're looking everywhere and you can find it, and you leave the house without it, and you come back in the evening, you realize it was right here on the counter, right in front of you. Why did you not see it? Because your energy was not aligned with that. You were in another state of frequency that blinded your eyes. Okay, so this is why the pyramids, more and more as we open our consciousness, we're able to find the new doors, the new rooms, and see new things. Okay, it is the same with our galactic brothers and sisters, invaders of the earth that Hollywood has pictured for many years as, you know, with dramatic scenarios and invasion and stuff like that, which in fact you realize that they're talking to us every day. So here's a funny story. When my son and I, we created this painting in July, that night we were doing a coloring. We did this coloring, okay? The very next morning, it's exactly like that, and I didn't find the coloring today, but the very next morning, this crop circle appeared in England, in a place where I had been in 2009. Yes. And I was like, Esteban, look, this is crazy. We did this coloring. The next morning, this appeared in England. You see, this is the exact same patterns with two different colors. Okay, and this is probably also a Morse code or some kind of thing to be translated. So it was like the little message to say, hey, we see you, we're here every day. How are you possibly drawing something and they want to play? And the next morning they communicate with you that, you know, this is made with sound vibrations, okay? Sound vibration to flatten the wheat in the crops, okay? That is not all. There is more to it, because I didn't really know what that was. Until yesterday morning, the craziest thing. Yesterday morning I wake up and I share on my Facebook about that. Have you seen my anti-gravity formula that I created in July with my son? You know, this is important for the environment because, you know, we need free energy and stuff like that. The same day, I'm painting this. This was yesterday. I was painting this, and the art collector who orders this painting from me tells me, hey, no matter what you do with the painting, I would love that you integrate the constellation of Cassiopeia in the painting here on the top left. Okay, no problem. Yeah, all right, I got you, and everything. I look online at the constellation of Cassiopeia, and I find this. This is the constellation of Cassiopeia. Do you relate? Can you see that this is the exact thing I posted in the morning on my Facebook, and this is what they asked me to paint on that day? And I was like, what a time loop, what a crazy coincidence, because you realize that there is only one moment, like in Interstellar, when she's in her room with her dad and the book keeps falling off the shelf, and at the end of the movie you learn that it was actually the dad from another dimension. He was in this space wormhole, or where he's actually connected with all the timelines of reality and is sending her a message. Okay, this is what I believe is happening. Those beings that we connect to, they could most likely be even ourselves, our higher consciousness communicating with us. And it's not so much of how are we going to welcome them from the sky and have a divine intervention. Hopefully, yes, I believe it will happen, but it's also how we can actually channel this information ourselves and create the heaven on earth and co-create these new technologies, okay, because this is our world. So yes, that was my little introduction about how to introduce these topics, because this is the future. This is what we're going to start. Look at science, look at everything. We are already there. It's already happening. Telepathy, this is just a Wi-Fi between humans. And most people, they're not there yet, and they will mock you, and because they feel like, oh, they don't know that they're actually doing it every day. But the more we normalize it and we show ourselves as super powerful people, not just depending on a government, but actually empowered to co-create our circles and our reality, and that the universe always got your back, then there is no more depression, because you're never alone and you always feel supported and hopeful and with faith and I don't know, hope and vision. And so yes, this is what I would like to share on your platform with the United Nations. I would be honored, really. Thank you for taking the time. See, this is the second time I record that, because the first it was 25 minutes and I was like, oh no, I need to do less, 10 minutes, because they're probably busy. So if you've been watching till now, thank you. I hope we get to work together soon, meet you during an interview, and keep going further along this mission. Have a great day. Thank you.